Chapter 7. Finding What You Lost. When trust is broken, there is a deafening silence and a killing pain. It becomes almost impossible to trust the same person again who has broken it. But life goes on, and so should you. Emotional infidelity. When your partner is cheating on you by having a sexual relationship with someone else, infidelity is undeniably evident. However, when they are in a strong emotional bond with someone else, the definition of infidelity becomes somewhat more complex. This kind of relationship is still crossing boundaries and can leave as much hurt, but it is much harder to confirm. Emotional infidelity takes place when the boundaries of a romantic relationship are crossed without being sexual or physical. How do you identify emotional infidelity? As it can be so much harder to confirm emotional infidelity, the uncertainty of whether your partner is cheating can be unbearable. I am sharing some questions you should ask either yourself or your partner to determine whether you are being cheated on in this regard or even if you are cheating without realizing it. Neglected emotional needs. Are we neglecting each other's emotional needs? Do you often find that you are putting the needs of a third person above those of your partner? Do you feel your partner has a habit of attending to the needs of someone else before they'll address yours? Hiding the relationship. Do you or your partner hide this relationship? Having friends is great and not that uncommon to have a platonic relationship with someone who is not your partner. But once you start to hide it or your partner is hiding such a relationship, it is a concern. Then you need to determine what emotions cause this relationship not to be discussed openly anymore. For if it was nothing, transparency would still have been strong between you and your partner. Emotional support. When you are experiencing stressful days, who do you turn to for emotional support? If it is anyone else but your partner, it is most likely because there is someone else with whom they would rather share their feelings. Satisfying sexual needs in a non-sexual manner. Who satisfies your or your partner's sexual needs? I want to emphasize that not all sexual needs are satisfied through sexual relations. It might also be through means like sexting or enjoying sexual arousal when in conversation with the other person. What causes it? I am convinced that some people are just born to be cheaters, but while I am convinced that is the case, I also know that most people who are guilty of infidelity didn't plan for it to happen. There is mostly a collection of causes that, once they are combined, result in this kind of behavior. The following conditions are often what lead to a partner's infidelity. Seclusion from the outside world. There are many reasons that can contribute to couples not being social. They would most likely not be involved in any activities outside of their home, seldom if ever interact with their neighbors, and live a very secluded life. While both of you might state that you prefer living in this manner, it is more than likely that one partner might only say that to keep the other partner happy. While this is a noble sacrifice to make, it is not sustainable, and soon a situation may arise where the need to have meaningful social relationships outside of the home becomes too strong to restrain it any longer. Not meeting each other's needs. There are many ways to show your partner that you love them. But if it is not the way they want to be loved, your partner can still feel neglected and unloved, despite your efforts. Listen to the needs of your partner and how that person wants to be loved, for as long as you meet the needs of your partner, they are less than likely to find someone else who will fulfill this need for them. Getting over unresolved anger. When partners hurt each other, it is vital that they resolve the matter in its entirety. If not, unresolved anger has many ways how it can rear its head. As the general assumption is that emotional infidelity is not that bad as there was no sexual interaction, it quickly becomes a way to get back at your partner. How to deal with it. For emotional infidelity, it is truly a case of the best cure is prevention. Even if you are in a relationship which leaves you both happy and content with each other, it is best to always take care to prioritize the needs of that person so that they never feel that someone else can meet their needs better than you do. Never tolerate distance between you two for an extended time. If it is too late for that, be open about the emotional infidelity. Make sure that you and your partner discuss the situation openly and honestly. Work through the pain and make your decisions from there onwards. Learn how you both might be guilty of neglecting each other's needs and do better from now on. Treasure your relationship. Infidelity, sexual or emotional, is often the result of having a relationship that is already broken in some way. When you and your partner decide to have another go at your relationship as you both still love each other, then the hardest thing is most likely to let go of the trust issues that have resulted from this situation. Signs of lingering trust issues. Maybe you've convinced yourself that you've let go of all the hurt caused by the emotional infidelity of your partner, but are you truly free? The following are all signs that can be easy to ignore but are still indicating that you are not trusting your partner completely yet. Increased anxiety. You know where your partner is going to be, but still you are experiencing an increase in anxiety whenever they leave the house. While this is especially the case when you know that the possibility exists that they'll see the other person where they are going, it can also be present fear when they are merely going to the grocery store. So if you feel you want to keep your partner within sight at all times, you most likely still have trust issues to deal with. Keeping tabs on your partner's phone. Thanks to technology, it is easy to have a relationship via your phone. Asking your partner to see his or her phone, or even finding yourself going through their phones when they are not present, both indicates that you are struggling with trust issues in the relationship. Keeping tabs on their expenses. When someone is having an affair, it most likely will show up on their financial records. This is why you are checking your partner's financial records and keeping tabs on their expenses. You want to know on whom did they spend money, where, and for what. In the end, you are the only one who becomes consumed with this desperate need to follow your partner's whereabouts. If that person is guilty, then your relationship is most likely over. But if they are not guilty and stick to their word to give your relationship priority, your trust issues may be the cause of what is pushing you guys apart. Emotional or sexual distance. Do you keep your partner at a distance? Are you indicating that you are not interested in sexual intimacy or any intimacy? Trust issues can often cause you to feel you need to protect yourself, and the best way to do this is by keeping your partner at a safe distance. While this might protect you, it can leave your partner feeling isolated and even more prone to seek someone else to meet their needs. Losing interest in intimacy. Maybe you've had a wonderful love life before you've learned about your partner's emotional infidelity. Now you are not finding pleasure in your intimate moments anymore. Regardless of what you agreed to, you most likely haven't been able yet to make the shift in your mind to trust your partner, and your trust issues are ruining intimacy for you. You want to be in control. You've trusted your partner and they've hurt you. Now you've agreed to give the relationship another chance, but you want to be in the controlling position. You want your partner to do and say what you want, and in short, you want to be the boss of him or her. In your mind, that is the only way you can protect yourself from getting hurt again. This is a clear sign you are struggling with trust issues. Rebuilding the trust in your relationship. Rebuilding trust is a long and often very challenging process that requires time and consistency in your efforts. However, I've seen many couples succeeding at this, often being far happier than ever before. You must be willing to change. When you are the person hurt by betrayal, it can be so easy to opt for a state of mind where you think your partner was in the wrong and that changing is their responsibility. The reality is that a tiny percentage of infidelity is merely the result of one person stepping over the boundaries of a committed relationship. When cheating takes place, your relationship is already not in a healthy state, and this is mostly the result of the actions of both. So, consider the fact that you are not completely innocent in the matter, and that if you want this to work, you need to be willing to change your approach too. Regardless of how hard changing is, if you want to ensure the future of your relationship, it would require that you are not only saying that you'll change, but will take the steps to do it too. Understand why betrayal took place in the first place. To make changing easier, it is vital that you understand what caused this betrayal. It is only when you know what leads to betrayal that you can make changes that will truly affect your relationship positively. willingness to talk about it. It is most likely hard for both of you to talk about what happened and how it made you feel. Yet by talking about what happened, how it made you feel, and what caused the cheating to take place will help you both to work through the emotions stirred by the infidelity. Once we don't hide our feelings under the carpet but deal with them constructively and openly, they become far less scary and much easier to process. So, if you want to talk about what happened, your partner should give you the time you need to discuss the matter in detail, and the same goes the other way around. Now is the time for open communication and transparency to overcome trust issues and not allow it to become an obstacle to your happiness. Forgive. I can say a lot about forgiveness as a grand act of nobility, yet the most valuable feature of forgiveness is that it is a way to set yourself free. You can't say that you forgive your partner and then continue to remind them about the sacrifice you've made for your happiness. Consider forgiveness as a gift that you give to yourself. It is only once we've forgiven that we set ourselves free from the prison of anger and resentment that can take over the entirety of your being. And forget. Forgiveness means nothing if you constantly want to jump back to the past or keep the past events as your trump card to play to get what you want. If you agree to forgive and forget and to give your relationship a fair chance, you need to do just that. Yes, discuss the matter openly and as much as you need, but don't hold on to the past merely to claim control over your partner. If you do, then you are not in a healthy relationship, and the odds of the same thing happening again are much higher this time around. You are not alone. If you have a strong network of people who will support you both to strengthen your relationship, rely on them. Even if you do, but especially if you don't have this network, then call in the help of a professional to help you through this challenging journey. By seeing a relationship expert, you can work on your relationship and not only overcome the issues resulting from infidelity, but also the concerns that caused the infidelity to happen in the first place. Get the help you need and know that this is a struggle for both you and your partner. You can rely on each other too. People can be trusted. The person with whom you are in a romantic relationship with has broken your trust. But how many other relationships do you have where you can still completely trust others? In most cases, people are trustworthy, and you shouldn't let the betrayal of one person cloud your judgment forever about everyone else. Create new memories. When you are making fresh memories, it becomes far easier to forget the bad things that happened. Rather than letting this negativity overpower everything you are and have, create opportunities where you can make beautiful memories to cherish forever. A final word. Emotional infidelity is in any way as hurtful as cheating sexually. It is only normal that there are many ways you can battle with trust issues afterwards. However, if you are not willing to take the high road in your relationship and completely put the incident behind you, then it is much better for both of you to walk away. The amount of hurt and destruction that can take place within the bond of a romantic relationship when both partners aren't willing to forgive and take the steps to improve the state of your relationship, you are just wasting each other's time. Thus, while maybe brazen, the best advice I can give when you state you don't want to leave your partner because of infidelity and that you want to work on building a strong bond again is to put your money where your mouth is and truly let no effort be too much to overcome this obstacle. This can be easier said than done, though. So, in the next chapter, we are exploring how to take stock of your deepest emotions and to create change from the inside out.